all the different types of options became available after your eyes opened up to these different lenses and possibility of making sure that you are the best version of yourself so that you can present a good front to those individuals that you're serving. So I was able to obtain probably like over 25 certifications after doing the Dream Manager program and help equip me to tap into my superpower, which is continuous learning, which I enjoyed so much. So I want to learn more about how I can kind of get more involved with helping others become the best version of themselves.
Hey there, I am so excited about this episode because we are talking to one of our amazing dream managers, Kevin McGhee. Kevin, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me, Kate. And I really appreciate you reaching out to have me come on.
Yes, I'm excited for this conversation because you are the epitome of a certified dream manager. You are out in the world creating really incredible things for your community and for the people that you work with. And you're just such an inspiration. You just have this really wonderful energy about you. And I'm excited for people to hear your story, a little bit about your journey in becoming a certified dream manager and the impact that you're having, not only internally, but also in the community that you serve. So why don't you share with us a little bit about Marillac St. Vincent Family Services and what you do over there with all of the incredible team that you have?
Thank you. Yes. So Marillac St. Vincent Family Services is over 100 years, running organization across the Chicagoland area. So we operate on the Lincoln Park, north side of Chicago, and also the East Garfield location with the west side of Chicago. So within all of our campuses, we are the Marillac St. Vincent Family Services, which we have St. Vincent de Paul Center on the north side, and we have Marillac Social Center on the west side of Chicago. And within that, we offer several programs and services for our community members. One of which is one of our largest is our early learning program, where we look after 0 to 5-year-olds and helping them to become kindergarten ready. And then we have a school age program. And then we have a youth program. We have a food pantry. And then we also have a computer lab. We have a STEM program. We have a music studio. We have gymnasiums. And then we also have a senior component too, where we reach out to some of those homebound seniors that's out there. So we do some great things in the city of Chicago and try to help them move along the best way we know how.
And how big is your team?
My team was an organization, so we're a little bit over 170 members and staff members across organizations. So we've grown after the pandemic had lifted. And so we've seen some backslide of individuals and staff members, but we also kind of picked up in our staff involvement across our organization after the pandemic. So after everybody being shelter in place, we was able to grow our staff back up to capacity that's manageable within our organization.
Amazing. And it's so cool to see the diversity in the programs that you offer the community and also just being able to serve so many young people and really helping them, getting them when they're young enough so that you can help shape their minds and give them that hope that you are there for them, that people are there for them and truly care and want them to become the best version of themselves to help them make better decisions throughout their whole lives. And so it's really beautiful work that you're doing. And when I think about people that get to serve the younger generation, I often think about how when they get older, they are going to look back and think, oh my gosh, remember that guy, Kevin? Remember that organization that really uplifted us, that helped us? It's almost like they don't really even know the impact that it has on them until they get older. And so you get to be that for so many people. And that's really remarkable. You have such this incredible energy. Like I said, you were made to be a dream manager. I mean, this is totally your calling. And so why don't we talk a little bit about how did you discover the dream manager? How did the people that you work with really get excited to champion this program in your organization?
Yeah, so I thank you for that question. So the whole premise about discovering the Dream Manager program, I have to give credit to my CEO, Michael Chitwood. He's one of our newer, CEO of the organization, been with the organization 2 years now. And so I sit underneath him as one of the senior leaders of the organization and really appreciative of that and grateful for the opportunity to be able to serve staff members of our caliber. So in that, I have direct reports with him and on a weekly, if not bi-weekly basis. And so he has grown to understand and get to know me a lot better. So in that conversation, at that time, I was operating as a senior director of data and compliance management, which I built out the department and had a data compliance manager, a data quality analyst underneath me, and then also a compliance manager underneath me that was working within the organization. And so having these conversations with my CEO and talking about, goals, aspiration, he said, one thing that we're trying to do with our new strategic plan is, foster a thriving team culture. And how does that look across the organization? So, having a conversation with not only myself, but with the other senior leaders, offering up these thought ideas. And so he has a mentor from our sister agency or our partner agency with DePaul University. And the gentleman offered him a book to read, and it was called The Dream Manager Book. And so when Michael presented that to me, he said, hey, Kevin, I want you to read this book. Give me some thoughts. Tell me what you think about that. And let's have some conversation. And so once he handed me that book, this is back in March of 24. March 24. I read it within 2 days there, Kate. It was a page turner, and I saw things in that book that was a reflection of me as well. And so it was easy for me to have those pages turned when I was reading. And then I was able to report back to him and say, hey, this is great. What are we going to do with this? And next thing you know, you're like, well, I'm thinking about trying to see how can we infuse this process and this, this opportunity within our organization, and let's talk about it. So the speed a little fast forward, he was like, well, Kevin, I asked around, talked to some individuals, board members. And so since we are a Catholic organization, talked with some of our daughters of charity individuals. It was like, hey, if we do this program, who should we have, start this up and infuse it and implement it within our organization? And he said 100%. People just kept saying, my name, Kevin McGhee. And he tell me, like, what did you think about doing the program? I'm like, well, I'm already doing the senior director of data and compliance. So how would you want me to lift this up with an organization? Like, that's what we have to talk about. So in hindsight, we have the opportunity to say, you know what? Let's take a look at and structuralize a way that we can infuse this within our organization. And so he said, how about you become our dream manager? I said, okay. And so now he put that onus on me. So I did my research. I sought out you guys, a Floyd consultant, asked questions, did the research, and learned about, the certification process. And lo and behold, I was able to get that certification in the month of May. So now it was introduced to me in March, talk with our CEO about the whole process and kind of build out the program. And then I'll say, hey, certifications in May. And then we got the certification in May. And then after certification in May, I learned about the dreamstorming process, and they would do a dreamstorming process within our staff, all staff gathering that we have in September within our 170 employees. And then after that, we was able to infuse that and start the program in the month of January 2025. So now we are in our 5th year with our dreamers, and it's going quite well, to say the least, so much so that we did a branch off with a home ownership opportunity. So there's more, I could talk more about that. But yeah, so now I'm the senior director of staff relations, certified dream manager of our organization.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. You know what I love? I love how decisive you and the team were on, hey, there's this program. It's what we need. Let's go for it. Let's do it. And we'll figure it out. And what I love about what you were able to do is, okay, you have this role already in your organization. And now how are you going to do both things? And you figure it out, right? And obviously we help support you in what does that look like, because it looks a little bit different in every organization. So some people, they become a part-time dream manager. Some people, they dive right in and they're a full-time dream manager and they're coaching a lot of people. And so for you, when you did that Dreamstorm to introduce the program to your people, how many people signed up and how many people are going through the program currently?
So we have initially 21 individuals, but now we back to 18 because some individuals, removing themselves from the organization, and then also some ailments that took place. So now we're at 18. But then now, as we saw some overlappage in individuals want to learn more about how they can purchase their home, I've started a home ownership cohort, and within the home ownership cohort, we was able to get 14 individuals within that. So in essence, it's 32 individuals that's kind of looking into become lifelong dreamers and learning more about how to become the best version of themselves. So about, I'd say 32 individuals.
I love it. And so this is cool because this comes up a lot of dreams, many of the dreams that when we're with our clients, one of the dreams that shows up all the time is buying their first home. And I love that you saw, oh, this is on a lot of people's dream list, and it can be very overwhelming. And you don't really know what resources, who to talk to, who to ask. There's so much on the internet. There's so many people telling you one thing and then the opposite from someone else. And so you don't really know. And so I feel like this is such an opportunity for organizations to not just wonder about what are the resources my people need. It's like, oh no, it's very clear they need support in buying a home. So we're going to support them in that. And I love that when we see dream managers that take the program and they say, oh, these are the dreams. How can we support them in those dreams? So talk a little bit about what that looked like to implement the home buying program so that people could take advantage of that while they're going through the dream manager.
So in seeing those overlaps, it gave me an opportunity to do another interest form to see if any other staff member would like to be involved with the home ownership opportunity, because I'm already have, like I say, the senior director of staff relation and then also the certified dream manager. So, my bandwidth is very limited. So
no,
in that
do
regards,
more, Kevin. You should just
do more.
You're not doing enough.
Well, I guess by the time we get done with this, you can probably hear the other things that I have, that I undertake.
Oh yeah, Kevin's got it. There's no need to put anything else on Kevin's plate. It's full.
Like, basketball coach, I sit on several boards,
Hey, you know what they say? You want to get something done, give it to a busy person. So that's your role. You've picked up that role.
Well, I try to do my best. Like I always tell individual, like if somebody comes in front of me, I want to be able to offer them something of value. So that's one of the things I want to stand true on. But in regards to the home ownership portion is partner with other organizations. I think it becomes easy for me because some of my background is, financial literacy. So I got certification, FDICs, and I know how to pull credit reports, and I've done that with TransUnion, things of that nature. So I've been engulfed in that environment, in some of my past works. So knowing that fabric and community members and partners across the diaspora of Chicago give me the opportunity to make those easy connections. And so within that, so I say, hey, let's do this home ownership and then find those partners that can speak towards those staff members and see where they are in their journey and building that connection. So we're going to be offering this up in June. Actually, this is May, the end of May right now. So in June, we're going to be offering up the home ownership cohort for those staff members that wasn't able to get into one-on-one coaching, but also the staff members that was able to get the interest form completed to join the home ownership. So I'm going to have some one-on-one individuals that's looking to get home ownership, and then also staff members that wasn't able to get in the interest application the initial form to get into the home ownership process. So within that, we got 14 individuals for home ownership aspirations.
So talk a little bit about the impact that you've seen so far with the program. How have you seen the Dream Manager impacting your people as they go through every session?
I've seen some dreamers sit across the table in front of me and really open up their hearts. And it's very encouraging and inspiring to me to have that lens. And I always let them know before we start the session, I really respect you as an individual. And it's truly a blessing to know that I'm in this seat to be able to possibly add value to you. And I don't take that lightly. And so for me, it's really an honor to kind of have that opportunity to say, you know what, how can I be of assistance to help you, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and intellectually? So that right there in itself is just heartfelt and gratifying. And it comes with a sense of gratitude on my part. And I really appreciate having that opportunity to tap into that.
How do you think it's impacted? Obviously, you have these one-on-one conversations, but when you look at the people that are going through the program and then how they're interacting with everyone else on the team, how has that impacted the culture and the conversations that are being had among the team?
I think it impacted a tremendous and it add value to what we're doing within the organization. So I mentioned earlier that we may have had someone drop off because they just discontinue their service with the organization and an ailment. But the conversation that's been had across the organization offered up the opportunity to bring in another staff member while we're in the third or fourth month of the program. So I just told them, hey, this is an opportunity that I can get you in the program, something that you would like to do. I'm going to have to be intentional about, making sure that we get you the content that you need, the information that you need, and get you brought up to speed. If you're able to do those things, we can get you into the program. And the individual was like, yes, I'm all for it. Please let me get in. I'm going to do everything that's needed to help me along the path to become the best version of myself. And so, to your point, staff members are going across in their own spaces across all of our campuses to say, hey, I'm in this program. These are the things that is afforded to me. This is a conversation I'm having. They call me Coach K, the things that I'm having with Coach K. And so much so, those staff members come back to me and say, hey, how can I get into the program? And so I'm like, well, right now we have capacity, but I'll do a yearly offering to get those individuals and staff members into the program so we can try to get 100% of our staff members involved within the Dream Manager program. So those conversations have been had across various departments in our programs, and I see it come back to me in some shape, form, or fashion, even if it's at our all staff, even if it's at the water cooler, even if it's in the team meetings, even if it's at managers meetings. I'm hearing conversations come back to me on a face-to-face basis, or also with some of my team members say, hey, Kevin, I heard what staff is doing. And so it's being verbiated across our organization in a meaningful and an intentional way.
Sounds like you guys need another dream manager soon.
That's part of my proposal. I told my CEO, I said, hey, I was like, I only can do so much. So I want to build out the opportunity to say, you know what, I need to get a second dream manager in place. How can that, let's find value in what we're doing right now. And then with the opportunity presents itself to scale, then we can have the opportunity to push forward based upon the proposal that's been presented.
Talk about what are some of the other dreams that are on the list of your dreamers? I love when our dream managers get to share this because so often I think it's easy for people to think dreams. What is dreams only mean these big things that are almost unattainable, right? Instead of, oh no, it's buying your first home, it's getting in shape, it's taking a vacation with your family because you haven't done that in years. So what are some of the dreams that that people are putting on their list and that they're really excited to achieve?
Well, I know we have a lot of individuals that's aspiring to go back to school and to complete their BA or their master's degree program. And then they're doing a lot of different certifications and what have you. One of the dreamers came to me at the beginning stages asking, can we talk this through in terms of me going back to school? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's put this as one of your goals. And so put it as one of the goals and create a smart plan behind it. And so going through that whole process, this individual was able to tap into a scholarship opportunity, which is going to actually take care of her full payment of her undergrad degree. And she was reluctant to take on that journey because she didn't know the whole process behind it. But having the conversation and talking it through and we putting some smart goals behind it, she was able to apply for that particular application for that scholarship. And out of 300 individuals that applied, she was the one that was selected to get that scholarship. Now she's going to be able to further her education in that process. So that's just only one of a lot of different dreams that's taking place across our organization. And of course, we highlighted that within our newsletter. And I'm very proud of her and her aspirations and goals. Then we have other individuals who want to go back and get their master's degree. That was accepted in the master's program. We have individuals that reading for the first time. They were like, I never thought about, actually picking up a book and just sitting down and just reading the book and turning pages. Outside of the work that they have to do within the Dream Manager program, doing those reading assignments, they actually having a conversation with their significant others. They say, you know what? Let's kind of have a dialogue about this book that we can read together. And they're tapping into not only emotional things, but they also tap into their relationships with their significant other just by picking up a book. Then we have other staff members say, hey, I want to work on my physical attributes as well. And so we got people walking. We have some would like to go do some 5Ks, and they send me pictures of their journey around just, doing these big walks in the city of Chicago, downtown Chicago. So It's great. And also myself, I was able to do a 15K as well. So my goal is to do a marathon, but I wasn't able to do one this past November, but I was able to do the 15K. So I think I'm on my way. I'm about to get back in training to get this marathon underneath my belt.
Oh my gosh. When people talk about running marathons, I don't understand. Like that sounds so horrible. But I get it. I feel like runners it's like I get it. I get the intrigue of it, but I'm a weights girl. I love to walk. I love to do Pilates. Like that's my form of exercise and activity. So runners, I have a whole different respect for because that is not my thing. So anyone that runs a marathon, I'm like, that is amazing. That is so much dedication. That is a lot of work. And that's just so many miles. Like we don't really get that runner's high that they talk about, that I feel like people say, oh yeah, you just got to keep running. It's like after like 5 miles or 6 miles, like, do you really get that runner's high?
For me, I've always been an athlete, played basketball, had a chance to try out for professional basketball teams and stuff like that. So just being competitive in its sense that was intriguing to me. So the runner's high, for me per se, I don't think I've tapped into that yet because I'm trying to get to that level. But I've seen that when you reach a certain threshold, it almost taps into like if you have a vehicle and you know about the cruise control, you kind of tap into like a cruise control moment when you get to that certain level. So if you run in a 5K 3.1 miles, then you got 10K 6.2 miles, 15K 9.3 miles. So when you get to that 7th mile, it's almost as if you get into that cruise control, and next thing you know, you're on automatic. So you're just tapping into that cadence, doom, doom, doom. So you're just kind of getting that cruise control.
I feel like that's like the runner's high. You call it
cruise
you think
control.
So? I think so.
Okay.
I feel like that. I feel like, listen, if you quote unquote haven't tapped into it yet, I don't think you're going to at this point. So I feel like you have. I feel like that's what it is. It's kind of like that cruise control where you're like, okay, it's not painful anymore. I don't know. Yeah. It just seems like a lot, but that's amazing. I love that for you.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about certification, because one thing that we hear all the time with people that come to certification is, wow, I had no idea the impact that just coming to certification was going to have on me and my own dreams and the way that I approach my dreams and the world. So talk about certification. When you walked away from it, how did you feel personally and your excitement around being able to bring this back to the organization?
Yeah, the certification was so much fun, first of all. I met some interested people across the United States and still remain connected to them to this day. Very great content, great information. And the coin phrase of becoming the best version of yourself, for some reason, that's been in part of my mission and my vocabulary, but I didn't know that it was part of somebody else's. So it's like, I've heard it throughout my walk in life and all that, but like, where did it come from? Like this whole, coin phrase, and just learning about the Dream Master program and Matthew Kelly that coined this, become the best version of yourself. I'm like, wow, that was already prevalent. That was there. You're like, you hear it, but like, where did it come from? It's like, okay, it makes sense. There's an alignment there. And so, attending the session out there in Jupiter, Florida, great location, by the way, so much so that I had to create some content behind it. So I did like a little YouTube clip.
I love it.
Behind it. So it was great location, but it was some great takeaways, so much so that I was able to infuse that into my organization right away. Like I mentioned earlier, doing that in May and then have an opportunity to engulf that dreamstorming process within our all staff gathering in September, and then now implement the dreamstorming program in the month of January the following year. It's been a tremendous transformation within our organization. Like everything will have to go tick-tock, tick-tock.
It can feel very overwhelming, right? Because you're learning a lot in 2 days, and some people feel like, oh my gosh, this is so much stuff. Am I going to how am I going to do this? How am I going to implement this? How am I going to have my coaching sessions? Tell us a little bit about how did you feel with the amount of information that you had, like how confident were you that you're going to be able to go back to the organization and implement it? And did you feel like, yes,
Yeah.
I have everything that I need to successfully roll this program out?
Yeah, so great question, because I like kind of making sure that I have not only the materials and the content and the information and the resources behind Floyd Consulting, but also I want to get some practicality behind me as well for some individual that also done the work. And so in that regard, so was able to reach out to several other dream managers that's already been down this path, have already taken this journey, to say, hey, can you share with me some of the things that you have already done within your organization that provide value, or that you saw and provide me some of the pitfalls that you may have come across. And so in doing that, it gave me a little bit more encouragement to say, you know what, I can get this pulled off in an exponential rate within our organization, because I was able to find value in partners across United States.
Awesome. Yeah, we have so many dream managers, and the thing about dream managers is that they care so much about people and the success and support of other people. So I love when dream managers are working together or sharing stories. In fact, we do have a dream manager community of dream managers that are able to support each other, ask questions, uplift each other, and really celebrate each other's successes in everything that they're doing. You are someone who just goes after their dreams. And when you are achieving so many of your dreams, I feel like that is very inspiring to the people that are around you, right? Like, it's one thing to be a coach and to be able to help uplift your dreamers and to be there for them and to hold them accountable and to be their cheerleader, but then to also be fiercely going after your dreams and achieving them. There is also this, oh, wow, that's so inspiring. Like, it's inspiring to watch other people achieve their dreams, right? We get to uplift them and get to cheer them on, and then we get to do the same, and you kind of work together. So talk a little bit about some of the other dreams. So you ran your 15K. What are some other dreams that you put on your list that you were able to achieve since certification?
Yeah, so one of the things I want to do that's in process right now is to write a book. So I have my bullet points already outlined. And so I'm on my way in that regards to make sure I can get these chapters built out and then kind of orchestrate that in an intentional way. And so I have some great content behind it, and hopefully I can get that done sooner rather than later. So that's one of the dreams that I'm looking forward to doing. Also, obtaining certifications. Within that, I am what they call a true color facilitator, and within that is a personality assessment, temperament guidance across various platforms that you can use. And within this case, it's the True Colors, and it gives you the opportunity to go into organization, assess cultures, and kind of lead them into the right direction of how they see themselves and how they see others. And so I'm certified in that whole process, and also was able to get a certification in conflict navigation as well within True Colors. Did that, and then also maintain within the new position of staff relations. So I was able to get certifications in communications, crucial conflict, EQ, and emotional intelligence, different, conversations around how do you interact with disgruntled employees. So it's like all the different types of options became available after your eyes open up to these different lenses and possibility of making sure that you are the best version of yourself so that you can present a good front to those individuals that you're serving. So I was able to obtain probably like over 25 certifications after doing the Dream Manager program, and help equip me to tap into my superpower, which is continuous learning, which I enjoyed so much, and I'm continue to go down that path, and so much so looking into a PhD program. So I want to learn more about how I can kind of get more involved with helping others become the best version of themselves.
You just shared that your superpower is continuous learning. I love that. That is so amazing. To be such a lifelong learner, that is part of life, right? Like growing and experiencing new things and trying out new things. And before we pressed record, Kevin and I were talking a little bit about just creativity and writing and poetry. And I shared with Kevin, I was like, oh, you have poetry. You should share that on your YouTube channel. And I feel like, because why not? It's everything that you're building, everything that you're creating is just all part of your body of work. And you just don't know what you put out how others are going to experience it, and how you might say something the exact right moment that they need to hear it in the way that they needed to hear it from you. Like, you were the voice that they needed to hear it from. And that's what I love about everyone sharing their unique perspective. And there's not a lot of new ideas in the world, right? But and lots of books say very similar things, but it's the way in which people say it. It's you could have two books on courage and one that really doesn't speak to you and one that speaks so much to you. And it was just how the author decided to execute and share the idea. And that's what I love about so many different voices, so many different experiences. And that's what we get to do in this world when we're helping other people. So thank you, Kevin, for the work that you're doing to help not only your team internally, but also inspiring so many people in your community.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for all the work that you guys are doing. You guys give a platform where you have individuals like myself to come on board and not only learn about themselves, but learn how you can be not only a blessing, but a conduit to others. So that's really huge. And I don't take that lightly.
For anybody that is listening, Kevin, that's thinking, yeah, this sounds all good, but I don't know, I'm not sure. What would you say to somebody that's thinking, do I need a dream manager? Should I implement this program in my organization?
I would say, what is it that you want to do for yourself? Are you interested in learning more? Are you interested in gaining more? Are you interested in just, being that person that you would like to be? And so if that's the case, I would say reach out and learn how you can get these tools and these tactics to help you become a better version of yourself. Once that's ingrained and embedded into you, it's going to spill over into others. You're going to see an infuse of growth, not only within yourself, but within people that you come in contact with. You're going to see the kinship of others sharing with you the thing that you shared with them, what they've shared with others. And so it's going to be a great learning curve. Also, it's going to be a tremendous value of how others perceive themselves and how you perceive them as well. It's a great journey. And I'm a continuous learner, I'm a lifelong learner, and it's not going to end for me. I'm going to continue to do what I can as long as I'm still here.
Oh yeah, no, there's no stopping you. There's no stopping you, no matter, nobody could stop the energy that you have. It's amazing. And one of the things I love what Matthew shares is that dream managers will only see 1% of the impact that they're truly making in the world, because when you are feeding into people and you're giving them these new tools, you're feeding them this new content through the sessions and the questions and reading the rhythm of life and feeding them this new content to really think about life and themselves differently, they're changing as a person, and then they're taking that and bringing it back to their team members and their friends and their spouse and significant others and their kids. And you're making such an impact in the world. Many people that you will never even meet, that you kind of planted that seed to support them in their growth. So that's so exciting.
Yeah, but you were talking about impact in the world. I'll be remiss if I didn't mention this. A gentleman by the name of Mike Krzyzewski, I don't know if you know, he used to be the basketball coach of Duke University. I had the wonderful privilege of meeting him. And so back when I was in the 8th grade, I was one of the all-star basketball players, and I had a chance, by being an all-star, to meet him when he used to attend a high school called Weber High School on the west side of Chicago. And we played in a tournament there, and I was one of the all-stars. And so he had a chance to meet with all the all-star players at that particular time. And so that never left me as an individual. So he impacted me when I was in the 8th grade. And so now, just this past couple months, he came back to Chicago to do a guest speaking opportunity. And I was invited, and I was able to meet him face to face and say, you know what, Coach K, you impacted me. You probably don't remember me. I was an 8th grader back then. He I meet a lot of people. I said, well, over the time, a lot of individuals kept calling me Coach K. But I know you homes that phrase as Coach K. And so I was able to talk with him. I said, hey, well, do you mind if individual can call me Coach K? He was like, oh, I don't have no problem with that whatsoever. So now I have individuals calling me Coach K. And so I have different types of swag with Coach K moniker on it. And so
oh, I love that.
And so it's pretty cool to see how I was able to get that blessing from how he impacted me at 8th grade. and I've become a coach in my own rights. And then in doing the whole life coaching and the journey process, and individuals calling me Coach K, it's been an impactful moment in a serendipitous type of journey.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, that's amazing. Well, Kevin, you're so wonderful. Thank you so much for everything that you do. I so appreciate you being here to share your journey. And of course, we'll have to have you come back in another year or so to give us an update on where you are. And maybe by then you'll have another dream manager on board. Who knows?
Yes.
And thank you all so much for listening and so much for being here. We hope that you are inspired by this episode. If you're not inspired with some of the things that Kevin shared, I don't know. I don't know what's going to push you over into being more inspired to not only pursue your own dreams, but start asking your team member about their dreams. And so we hope that you got at least one idea, one takeaway, something that you feel like is very uplifting from this episode, because you're not here to just listen. You're here to participate and to take that next step. Do something that's going to help you and your team members become the best version of themselves. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. And until next time, lead with culture.